Welcome to the Lava Lamp Lounge, the show that marries a random board game and a random movie, and your friends Chris and Cody discuss. So we're going to be opening up with a cute little post-apocalyptic two-player ditty called Radlands, published by Roxley. You wanted to do this game, so why don't you kind of pitch the game and maybe talk a little bit about what's going on with it.
I will openly admit this is one of my favorite games of all time.
We hear that every game, or every episode, I feel like. Every game slash
Let's get to Rise of Moloch. We got to do Rise of Moloch.
Oh.
I love this game. This is a game that Chris introduced to me. I play with my sister all the time. It is a ton of fun. It's a 1v1 player game. It is a simple card game. We have these nice little maps that go with it, but essentially you have 3 shelters and that you have to protect, and the goal of the game is to destroy your enemy shelters.
So the game leans very heavy into the Mad Max post-apocalyptic theme. So how it works is, like you said, each player has 3 shelters. There's 3 rows going on, so you'll have everything kind of lined up. So anything in front of a shelter is protecting that shelter, and the cards, the raiders, or the different cards that you put out will protect those shelters, and they all have special abilities or different ways that they're going to affect the game. And the way you get cards out is you actually spend water. And the water's like the currency.
Precious water.
The water's the currency in this game, and you play water to get your cards out. Try and get as many cards out to protect your 3 shelters as possible, as long as possible. And again, just basically it's a 2-player take that game. Protect your shelters. I would say what's kind of neat, just off the top of my head, that now that we're talking about it, is the shelters all have special abilities as well. When you draw your shelters at the beginning of the game.
Yep, each shelter has its own unique power and ability.
Yeah, so that's kind of neat.
It's also balanced by, if you have a really good shelter, you start with less people.
Right.
So that's kind of how it balances out. If you pick a lot of really great shelters, you might not start with any people, and then they're vulnerable.
Right. Correct.
So a turn goes...
No.
This is the first time.
You want to take the lead? Go ahead.
I feel like I'm the expert in the game.
All right, go ahead. No, I taught you. The student is teaching the master. No, go ahead. Big Daddy.
So you have 3 events slots that you can play an event. An event is a special thing that doesn't take a turn to activate, but it takes a turn to place onto the board. But a special event can be everyone has to take their players off the board, and you have to reshuffle them back in your deck. Or it can be every single person is vulnerable. There's no kind of a turn order kind of a thing. Or it could be everyone who's already injured is automatically dead. Or there's a bunch of different kind of events. One of the main ones, the main one you want to get out, are the raiders. When you get the raiders out, if they pop, meaning they go through a sequence of event kind of turns, then they will automatically injure a settlement.
Yep.
And so that's one of the best ways to win, is getting your raiders out. It's not as easy as just getting your raiders out. There's certain cards and abilities that will let you put the raiders out. But every turn
I would say that's the most common way to score, though. Your raider, because when you play your raiders, they'll go onto the event track that he was talking about. And correct me if I'm wrong, but the first thing that he just said, the first thing that happens on your turn is you activate any events that are on your event track. They'll move down, and when your raider moves down, as he says, when the raider pops, it'll take out the settlement from your opponent on the other side.
Correct, sir. Yeah. So your events get moved up into the slots.
That's the first thing, yep.
You draw a card,
mm-hmm.
You collect all your waters, you get 3 waters, unless you have a special ability or you have a water silo in your hand. But you have 3 waters to spend on putting people out.
Yep, your cards out, yep.
Spending abilities on people, spending abilities from shelters.
Yep.
Or you can use your water to get a silo if you don't already have a silo. But you only get 3 waters, essentially.
Yep.
And There's tons of different abilities.
That's pretty much the game. You described the turn. So it's a very quick 2-player, snappy, back and forth. First player, like I said, you got the events, you got your water, you spend your water on your cards and abilities, then it's the next player's turn. And it's basically back and forth until one person's shelters are all gone. And that's the game.
I like all the characters. They're unique and different, and
the characters do look cool. Like
you
in
can't pin it down as like it's Mad Max themed just because that's like probably the most popular post-apocalyptic movie.
Right.
But it's not the only one.
Yeah.
There are others out there, and so there's different kind of art styles that go. There's like robots and stuff. Like it's interesting. It's fun.
How would you define the replayability?
I love playing it, so I love playing over and over again. There's enough cards and enough
shelters,
enough different ways to strategize based on the shelters you have, based on the cards you have. You already kind of generally know the strategy is just play with what you got, and that changes from turn to turn. And so I think replayability is high. It's simple enough that I can just pull it out and play with my sister, but it's also complex enough that you are strategizing, you are having fun just thinking things through.
Do you want to guess what I would rate this game? I think you'd have it.
6.
No, 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I figured you like it, but
yeah.
I don't know, it's never, I don't know, because usually there's not like a chance for us to do 1v1. It's usually a group.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to hold that against it.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where, like, I haven't heard you say let's play this because there's not a chance to.
Right.
But no, it's a solid game.
Yeah.
It's a really solid game.
Yeah, so you'll know if this is the type of game. It's the perfect type of game for like 1v1. Again, I'm not much of a solo gamer. I'm not much of a 1v1 gamer. I do have some 1v1s in my collection. I don't think I have any solos. I mean, I might have games that work for one player, but not games that are specifically designed for one player. But if 1 versus 1 is your jam, I would maybe rate this higher for that crowd, for like 1v1. But for your mileage may vary, as I always say. But for me, it's a solid. It's a solid 7.
It's not like Magic where you feel like you got to constantly get more cards and it's always changing.
But
this is just a game where you can pull it out and it's a 1v1 and it's going to be the same every time you play, but fun.
Yeah, well, but Magic is designed for that, right? For people to buy.
Yeah, but almost it's overwhelming.
And
this
stuff.
Is just like your aunt and your uncle like playing against each other. Get them this game.
Yeah, it's a good game for that. All right, I'm gonna guess that you will give this game a 9. Yeah.
Yes, a 9.
Yeah, maybe even a 9.5.
I was thinking 9.5, but I'm gonna.
I would say between 9 and 9.5 was my guess for you.
Yeah,
with this
I
game.
love this game. It's fun. I think it's just one of my sister's.
But he has again. Your mileage may vary. He likes 2-player games, like because he plays a lot of 1v1 games with his sister, so he can like appreciate that more in that realm, I think. So
I pulled it out plenty of times. So it's one of those things where it's like, oh yeah, it's like a comfort food for me.
Right. Yeah. So it's definitely a game where if you don't have a big player group, again, just your partner, I would wholeheartedly 100% recommend this game. But if you have a big group and stuff, you're probably more like where I'm at. It's a good game, but I don't know. I'll play it when I can play it. It's a 7. So that's where I stand on Radlands. Last things you want to say about Radlands? Final thoughts? Any valedictions, boyo?
No. Bye. Go
right.
bye.
All right. Maybe bye. All right. So, the movie that we're going to be talking about. We talked about a post-apocalyptic themed 1v1 game. And what would you assume? Let us know in the comments. What movie are we going to be talking about?
You know we mentioned Mad Max a couple times, so it can't be that.
Well, it could.
It's not. You know us.
Do they, though?
Yeah, they being us. So, what a post-apocalyptic movie would pair well with a post-apocalyptic game? Here's where we show a trailer of it.
Yeah.
Not that one.
This is the future, and it's up for grabs. Doomsday is history. All that stands between civilization and chaos are wheels of fire. And the heat is on. He'll go the distance. Wheels of fire.
Guess again.
Declared a state of emergency.
What's happening?
Cannot be contained.
Advice of a sudden drop in temperature. What you see is happening now.
We are gonna survive this.
Not that one.
Getting closer.
In the future. After the big war, there will come a time to rebuild. And a need for a new and special kind of soldier.
This man is carrying a loaded weapon.
Prepare to meet the next great American hero.
That's where you come in.
Are you serious?
His name is...
Hell. Sam Hell.
Never heard of you.
Dance or die! We're all gonna die.
When Hell Comes to Frogtown. Starring Roddy Piper as Sam. You are one weird dude.
That one.
God, you know that many.
From above, you can't deny the stark reality. This is what Portland's other epidemic looks like. This is what it looks like from the ground. The garbage and human debris will start piling up again, and Portland's cycle of human tragedy will repeat itself.
Not that one.
You mean you want me to knock up your broad? You talked me into it. Line him up. You first, honey.
Yep, that one.
A Boy and His Dog.
Magnificently inspired. Richard Eder of the New York Times says, brilliantly grotesque. The Austin Sun. This may be the best science fiction film ever made.
Everlasting favor. Amen.
By authority vested in me by the committee, I hereby pronounce you husband and wife, according to the ordinances and the laws of the state of Topeka. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. Amen.
A man should never be ashamed to own he has been in the wrong, which is but saying that he is wiser today than he was yesterday.
Written by a pervert, for perverts.
Okay, I don't think it's fair for you to call Mr. Harlan Ellison a pervert. He is a prolific
Pervert.
He's a prolific sci-fi author.
I think you're going to say sodomite.
But a prolific sci-fi writer. So, Harlan Ellison wrote the novella A Boy and His Dog, I think in like 1969, and it was kind of, and it evolved into like a bigger story, and he wrote two other stories, almost like a little trilogy that talks about gentlemen in the future, in this post-apocalyptic future. Well, a boy in this future by the name of Vic, and this dog named Blood, which he can communicate with for whatever reason telepathically. And this was kind of a precursor. You know us at Lava Lamp Lounge, we're all about going back to the source of things. But this was kind of Mad Max before Mad Max, really. And the setup of the movie and the book is Vic and Blood, the dog, the telepathic dog, are just trying to live on their wits in like a post-apocalyptic future.
Are they just trying to survive? I don't know if that's the main goal. That's not.
Well, no, that's the setup.
That's not what drives them.
Them?
That's not what drives both of them.
Okay, what drives Vic and what drives Blood?
What drives Blood is food Just like any kind
but
of dog.
what wouldn't drive you is food. If you're like starving in a post-apocalyptic
A
future.
dog, any dog, they want companionship and they want food. Both things kind of play a role in Blood's kind of motivations.
Yeah.
Vic is a simpler man. It is about a boy and his dog surviving in the post-apocalyptic world.
That's what I already said.
Apparently there was
World War IV.
World War IV,
Yes.
nuclear bombs and stuff.
Yep.
And essentially these two are just going about their business, trying to... Blood, psychically, or uses his dog senses, the smell, to try to track women down for Vic, our
hero.
Protagonist, to find and copulate, some might say rape. And in return, Vic will provide food for Blood. And it is kind of a very... not contemptuous relationship, but it's like a very
they fight like an old couple with or something.
It is
like they love each other, but they like fight all the time. So
they fight all the time.
We all know like old couples or couples that do that, right? Like
it seems like a
Steve Martin,
team,
Goldie Hawn out of towners
it
kind of
seems like
way.
a team that
like
they just using each other for
mutual benefit, but they still love each other.
No, for mutual benefit, but then in times of, dire struggle, you kind of get a sense of like, oh, yeah, they do care about each other. And then it gets to a point where, you really get to see that, and then eventually it becomes very clear that they care about each other.
Yes. So
which is, in a sick post-apocalyptic world about a man trying to rape women, it is heartwarming.
What was I going to say?
You can forget the whole stinking...
Well, maybe we should, you simple dumb putz.
What the hell's a putt? What's a putt? Is that something bad?
Any like post-apocalyptic anything owes a lot to this movie. Whether it be Mad Max, what we were just talking about with Radlands, it is openly documented that the developers of Fallout, I got a lot of inspiration from A Boy and His Dog.
Oh, you would stone a poor defenseless animal, wouldn't you?
The kind of inciting incident, so to speak, of this film, without getting into spoilers, Blood leads Vic to another woman, and who may or may not live in an underground world, which is completely separate from life on the surface in this post-apocalyptic Earth. And Vic kind of gets involved with what's going on in the underground world, and we'll leave it at that, I think. Yeah.
He's like 60 years old. And we just mentioned...
Well...
If you don't want to hear spoilers,
then
stop
fast forward
right now and go watch our old videos. No, but...
Yeah, okay.
So, Vic meets this woman, they, have sex. She actually seems interested in it. So he's like, oh, I really like this, I have a woman.
Yeah.
Blood is injured in this raid that takes place, and, so Blood is kind of limping, he's bleeding. The chick knocks out Vic, and she books it.
He wants to follow her underground.
Vic wants to go find her because he wants a woman.
Bad idea.
So long, partner.
Blood is like begging him not to go because he needs Vic to survive, but also because he's worried that Vic will never come back. He loves Vic.
Yeah.
So Blood decides that he's going to sit and wait, and then after a day or so, he's going to leave, and then hopefully they'll meet up later. Vic goes down.
Well, because Blood is talking about this kind of I'm not this word, but in a sense, an El Dorado, where he's talking about farmland and all this stuff, and Vic's like, what, you can grow food out of the ground? This don't exist, or whatever. So
he just thought it was a big trap that Vic was going to fall into and get killed.
So Blood wants to go to where the farmlands are, these mythical farmlands, which Vic, Don Johnson, has his doubts about.
And so Vic goes down into this underworld to follow this girl. he kind of
that's where the fun
theatrically gets choked out, and he gets abducted by this society that lives in. I'm assuming it was just like a big bomb shelter, essentially.
Yeah. Again, Fallout influence.
And definitely when you see the culture, it's like it's called Topeka.
Yes.
It's like a very farmland, old, not colonial.
Simple,
but
Dixieland, white
Dixieland.
Yeah, like...
Be resolved, therefore, that Mrs. Eunice Long has been declared the Blue Ribbon winner of the annual Topeka Canning Festival.
They have a special purpose for Vic, we'll say.
And
yes.
It kind of flips around.
They honey-potted Vic. We'll say that.
And so Vic, basically, he gets used. This girl that he was searching for turns out to be super power hungry. She wants to
opportunistic.
She wants to take over the underground. She wants to take over the council.
Yeah.
She wants to use Vic to do it.
Because he's like an ass kicker, right?
Yeah.
And the people down below don't know how to fight.
And so she tries to help him escape. If he helps her, they don't seem to...
I like how we're just talking about the entire movie.
Well, the plan doesn't go according, and...
I mean, we did give spoiler warnings, so...
Yeah.
But...
And so Vic escapes with the girl after just like a bunch of stuff happens.
Okay.
They escape.
Yes.
And then...
I don't think you need to go anymore.
Oh, but this is the best part.
No.
Anyways...
No.
Okay,
what do you think about that part?
When he comes back...
Oh my god!
There's the girl.
I'm just gonna keep talking
Vic,
about the movie this whole time.
And Blood is there.
Shitty version of an audiobook.
Blood you find out that Blood has been waiting for him. He's dying. He's sick.
You're really
and then
about
Vic has to make choices to save his dog or run away with this girl. And there you go.
Okay. Well, thank you for
find out what happens by watching the movie.
You basically just told them the whole film.
You don't know what happens.
You did tell them what happened.
No, you don't know what happens. Watch the movie.
You don't know the very, 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 very last scene, but you told them everything else. You got really in the zone there.
There's a robot.
You were really about like...
There's a robot.
Yeah, that's who the council used to like snap necks. I feel like we need to introduce a new criteria with...
Rape-o-meter.
No. How many times does Cody rub on his phone? Because I feel like that while watching the movie. Because I feel like that will give you like that will correlate with how high he ranks the movie.
All right, so this movie is screwed because I watched it on my phone.
Oh,
I watched it on my phone over 2 weeks.
Did you watch it on Tubi or YouTube?
I watched it on Tubi.
Don't you love how it's literally a VHS rip on Tubi?
I saw the tracking.
They adjust the tracking like in the middle. I was like, where did Tubi get this video? Like, and it has the FBI warning like at the beginning. And at one point, I love Tubi though. You can't give me. I'm the biggest Tubi advocate you will ever find.
Tubi is run by two guys.
It's like what do they want to
constantly uploading their VHS tapes. That's all Tubi is. It's run by two fucking dudes.
They literally adjust the track. It
was weird. For a second, it went, and there was like a commercial for McDonald's. It went back. It was someone's wedding video or something.
No. It would have been funny if you actually like saw their hand or something.
Yeah, just. But you're saying.
All right, I'm going to say you rated this movie a 6.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Great. I like the ideas. It's just something about it. I'm just like,
Did you rate Zardoz a 6 too?
I think I rated Zardoz like a 4.5.
No, because I thought we were both pretty...
I like Zardoz.
Equal on that.
I like Zardoz. I don't know, I'll have to review.
Well, whatever.
I like this more than Zardoz, for sure. Zardoz has crazier ideas that I like. This has solid ideas that I appreciate.
Alright, what did I rate this?
Nostalgia factor, 8.
7.5.
7.5.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Smash that like. Smash that subscribe. Thanks for watching on YouTube, and we appreciate you guys listening on your podcast medium of choice. Thank you very, very much.
You're going to get a brain aneurysm.